This is Salam Media coming to you live from South Africa.
The African Muslim Agency teams has arrived in Malawi and we'll be here for the next few days to witness the opening of boreholes and water wells. Most of you would know African Muslim Agency construct water wells, boreholes, masjids, Islamic centers across Africa. Your sponsorship of a borehole not only gives water, it allows people in this village, like this village in Zulu in the heart of Africa, to farm and grow crops. You see this water from this borehole in this village has allowed people to farm and grow fruit trees, like this mango tree in front of me. So this child in this village can have some nourishment and eat a mango. Follow us on africamuslimsagency.co.za. Go to our social media pages, hear us on media, as we bring you live coverage from the heart of Africa.
The time is just gone 9:20 a.m. and we are going to the heart of Africa, where we are joined by Brother Hussain Choonara, Regional Manager at the African Muslims Agency, and who is live on the ground in Malawi. Brother Hussain, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Very nice, and to all the listeners of Salam Media.
Yes, Juma Mubarak to you, and Jazakallah so much for joining us out of Malawi this morning.
Shukran so much for having us here this morning.
Right, now let's talk about Malawi, and you are on the ground. What is it like being on the ground in Malawi this morning, Brother Hussain?
Very nice. I think most of the listeners of Salam Media would know that the African Muslim Agency constructs water wells and boreholes, masjids, Islamic centers across Africa. And we have teams who are based here in Malawi and other parts of Africa 24 hours a day, 24/7, identifying needy areas, overseeing projects, and ensuring that the projects are sustainable, that their empowerment, their structures in place across the region. And we are just to open some boreholes and water wells sponsored by donors of African Muslim Agency.
Yes, Brother Hussain, now let's just look at, obviously understanding the true purpose of this visit. And we know, you are in the heart of Africa at this point in time. One knows that it's not an easy place to travel through. So let's talk about this purpose of the visit and also looking at some of the challenges that are being faced with by the people of Malawi.
Brother United, we know that in Africa and in these parts of the world that poverty is high and people don't have access to clean drinking water. But to see it firsthand, Brother United, I'll share with you that yesterday we met with some families yesterday. And we met a mother who lost her two children, and how she lost her two children is, you see, here they wake up in the morning and they walk out to the nearest river to go fetch water. And when we met with mother, she lost her two children at the river to crocodiles because she went to the river to go fetch water. We met another family where the mother and the daughter went to the river, and the daughter saw the crocodile eat the mother and kill the mother because all they do to quench their thirst is to go fetch water. So when you sponsor a water well in a borehole here, you're literally saving people's lives. Imagine the mother who lost her daughter and those parents who lost their children, they would know how to feel. But they have to first negotiate the need for water. In getting water, we know that water is essential for everyday living. And then also to think about losing your child because you have to go and fetch water. So these are the stories and situations we are facing here in these villages in Malawi. And we encourage the people listening right now. Your sponsorship of a water well will literally save lives and empowers villages in these regions. We've also met another family. I set them with them in the hut. Maybe a 3x3 room, and they call it their home. And the children, the mother and the 8 children, they sleep on the rock floor. And all they eat every single day is they boil mangoes, and they eat it every single day because the only thing they have is mangoes. I asked them when is the last time they eat food, or beef, or chicken, and they said maybe 7 months ago. They can't remember. I asked them, where's your shoes? They said, children don't wear shoes. They said, don't ask about that. You don't know what shoes is. So the areas we're building these projects in absolute dire need. I want to encourage the listeners who are listening right now on social media. Your sponsorship of a water well, your sponsorship of a borehole gives water, but it saves lives. Literally, we've seen the impact that it has on villages. A village that has water is able to farm and grow and have food, and people are able to nourish themselves because they have food. It becomes an empowerment project. It becomes a sustainable project. The African Muslim Agency teams have structures in place for decades, alhamdulillah, that oversee these projects and oversee the projects of Islamic centers. It becomes a vibrancy and the energy in the village that people learn, get educated, and it changes the poverty cycle in Africa.
Well, Brother Hussein, I think this is it encompasses everything. Where one looks at the vision of the founders of the Africa Muslim Agency and why they have embraced this challenge of eliminating or alleviating the suffering of people on the continent of Africa. And when we hear stories like what you have just told us, and also last week when we spoke with Imran out of Afghanistan, when these stories come home, and it actually hits hard because now we are faced with reality. We're faced with the stark reality of the suffering of the people, and that is why this need is so great. And also in terms of the immediate need for the people of Malawi, where you are right now, especially since the COVID-19 pandemic, what are the immediate needs?
Water, 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 water. Because water, you clean with water, you sanitize with water, you wash with water, you're able to cook with water, you're able to nourish yourself, you're able to grow food with water. Water is so important, brother, in these parts of the world. And because, a person, and imagine that he works for the donor. The donor is listening right now on Jummah morning. Maybe you've got someone who's not well. Maybe you know someone who's passed on in your family. Donate on their behalf for Allah's pleasure. And for every single drop of water that someone consumes and nourishes their soul and their being, Allah rewards you. You see, brother Inayat, you mentioned about the need across the world. Allah doesn't need me to come and change the situation in Malawi or Afghanistan or any part of the world. But when I sit in a hut with a family and I witness how they beg their friends to have some grain so they can have some food, Allah is blessing me more because Allah has blessed me. And I see the mother with her children with my age, children who are the same age as my children. What won't we do for our children to have water, to have food, to have clothing? These are our children. They sleep on rough floors. They wake up with the same clothes every single day. But they still have a smile on their face when you see them. So Allah is blessing me more because Allah has blessed us. Allah has blessed you, the one who's listening right now. Allah is bringing this to your attention. Go to African Muslim Agency, our teams are based here 24 hours. We have 4/7. We have structures in place. We know the needy areas and donate towards projects that empower villages across Africa. Because your project is an empowerment tool that uplifts the standard and provides dignity to people in Africa.
Yes, definitely, Hafiz Hussein. And also looking at AMA and looking at all the projects that you are undertaking in Africa and in Malawi, looking at our listeners and how can they actually get involved?
Go to our website, African Muslims Agency, they contact our officers right now. Go contact any of the fundraisers around the country. Get the details on the website. And maybe as a family, come together. Follow us on social media. If you want a crowdfunding link on behalf of your family to sponsor a water well or a bore or a masjid, contact us and we'll have it sent to you in your name. And you can allow many people as possible to participate in earning the reward of Allah's mercy. So go to African Muslims Agency, donate towards healing Africa. And Brother Ina is going to thank the donors out there because their sponsorship of projects across Africa is changing the landscape. And it's such a good feeling when you drive into different areas and you see there's a masjid, there's a borehole, there's a water well, there's a masjid, there's an Islamic center, and people are learning, people are reciting, people are praying, people are washing, and you think, Ya Allah, bless the donor, reward the donor, and continue to use the donors to serve His creation.
Well, certainly. Now, also, Hafiz Hussein, before we take leave of you, and just one or two examples that you have you have obviously shared with us, and your experiences that you basically hit home, and it's a very, very powerful message. It's a very, very profound message that when we learn of the suffering of people, when we learn what people are actually going through, and these are our own very own brothers and sisters that we are talking about. And on this day of Jum'ah, what message would you like to give to our listeners?
Jummah Mubarak to all the listeners of Salam Media. That Allah on this day, or this morning, on this auspicious day, that Allah promises His answer to your du'as. Make the niyyah for His pleasure, for the reward of those that are passed on, for Sadaqah Jariyah. We know the world is undergoing a global pandemic. What better gift to give than the gift of water that keeps on giving, like the water that flows in the water table like a river. That every single drop of water that comes from the water well, from the borehole, be perpetual reward for the donor, for Sadaqah Jariyah, and be a blessing for the donor in this world, the qabr, and the year after. Go to Africa Muslims Agency, and help us heal Africa.
Well, Jazakallah for that, and Allah accept from you, Allah reward you for your efforts and all the sacrifices that you, Hafiz Hussain, is making, and also all those who are involved at Africa Muslim Agency. Jazakallah as always for coming on and talking to us here at Salam Media. Allah keep you safe, inshallah, and also in terms of your return back to South Africa, Allah bring you back safely, inshallah.
I mean, brother, now shukran to you and to the Salam Media team for giving us a platform. And Allah always bless you guys and take you guys from strength to strength for the amazing and steady work that you guys do. Shukran. Jazakallah khair wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Hafiz Hussain Choonara joining us this morning, and he is the regional manager at Africa Muslim Agency, live on the ground from Malawi this morning.